Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the University of East London Sports Talk here as we have British Wheelchair Basketball's Women's Premier League action for you. East London Phoenix taking on the undefeated Loughborough Lightning here, a battle of the top two in the standings. And East London trying to close the gap on Loughborough at the top of the table. Delighted to have you with us. I'm Daniel Routledge, and I am joined by Louise Sugden, the former Great Britain international and also powerlifting medalist at Tokyo from last year. Great to have you with us, Louise. A venue you know pretty well, a great place to play some wheelchair basketball.
Yeah, I've been here a few times. It's a great venue and we've got a great match in store.
Well, we have got the two teams who are currently first and second in the standings. They're obviously feeling each other out at this stage of the season. We're seeing the development of the squads as they go through. But if we look at the table, Loughborough Lightning with 4 wins from 4 games. East London Phoenix beaten by Loughborough Lightning. And there was one result from earlier today where the Cardiff Met Archers were victorious, 49 points to 42 in Worcester, so that puts them on 2 wins as well. And well, really the question at the moment in this campaign is, can anybody knock off the Lightning? They've looked really good through the first few rounds.
They have looked really good. They've had some close matches, but they've always looked in control. So we need to find a team that can disrupt that balance that they've got as a team. And I think the East London Phoenix have got a really good team. They work well together, so I think they could be the ones to cause an upset if it's going to happen.
And of course, the other part about it is being able to see the teams develop, because it's a brand new league, just started this year, so they're sort of coming together as units. And also, there's quite a lot of young players across the league, which I'm sure you're excited by, and seeing the development of those younger players coming to the fore and challenging themselves against the experienced Paralympians that are in the league.
It's a fantastic opportunity for all those younger players to learn and develop their skills, and what a fantastic environment to do it in.
It certainly is, and we've had a good start to the campaign. Of course, the teams play each other 3 times across the course of the season before battling out for the ultimate championship. So it's in some ways it's not about how you start in this competition, although Loughborough have started really well, but can you peak, can you get yourself going into the right shape for the back end of the competition when you've got a chance to actually get the silverware?
It's definitely more of a marathon than a sprint, but I think Loughborough have got the depth to go all the way in this league. And I think that it'd be interesting to see what the back end of the season looks like as the other teams develop their game and develop their team working. I'm interested to see what happens.
Because kind of the impressive thing about Loughborough is they've actually had some changes to the lineup, some absentees to the lineup who've been out through injury or illness, and that therein has been a challenge to rotations and stuff like that, but they've managed to go through it. Let's take a look at the lineups for today's game, starting with the home team, the East London Phoenix. And of course, Amy Conroy, number 10, leaps off the page. Definitely a big scoring option for Coach Hanson Morris, and they'll need a big performance from her, surely.
They will need a big performance from her, but the strength that East London Phoenix have had so far is their teamwork and the fact that they work very hard for each other. They know that Amy is their main threat, and therefore she might not get all the options that she's after. Beth Wheeler's done a fantastic job of scoring a lot of points, working really hard, and then you've got players like Freya Levy, who is just a workhorse, but when she gets an opportunity at the basket, she'll score it most of the time.
And I was talking to Michael a little earlier on, and he was telling me it's a relatively young team. He's happy with the development of the team as they go through, and he feels that they are getting better and will get better as the season goes on.
I think they've really surprised people actually with how they've performed and how well they've worked together. You can see that there's a real chemistry within their team, and that's clear by the results that they've had. I think a lot of people would have maybe said that they didn't have as much on paper as other teams, but they've proven people wrong.
They certainly have. Let's take a look at the Loughborough Lightning lineup, a team that certainly did have a lot on paper when you looked at the roster when they were compiling this roster together. And I mean, you look at it again, there are so many great players in that lineup, but they've shown that they can win in different ways with different people coming to the fore as well.
Yeah, obviously they've got their main players in Laurie Williams and Robin Love, but there have been other players that have really stepped up in other games. It's great to see Claire Griffiths as well added to the roster. A very, very experienced
Like they
player.
didn't have enough talent, they go and throw in somebody with that much experience into the lineup as well.
Yeah, a 5-time Paralympian, got a lot of knowledge. I played a lot of my career with Claire, so I can tell you she knows what she's talking about.
Well, again, we talked about the younger players in, but having that experience on the lineup will help some of the younger players on the Lightning, as you say, to have a 5-time Paralympian come in, working out with you, playing on court with you, sort of nurturing you along.
Definitely, they just need to absorb all of the knowledge that they can from the more experienced players, and we have seen some fantastic performances and younger players just stepping up at times when Loughborough needed them to. So it's just got depth, the Loughborough team, which other teams perhaps don't have in this league. And
we saw last week the influence of Robin Love in that win down in Cardiff. She's certainly been a key player for them, and Lucy Robinson, a tremendous scorer for them last week as well. But that's kind of the beauty of this lineup. It could be two completely different players this week. They have that strength and depth, and they're all comfortable in saying, okay, it's your day, you go for it, you lead the team. They will defer to whoever is playing the best on the day.
And I think Lucy is a great example of players that have stepped up for Loughborough. In the absence of Jude Hamer, she's had to fill that role that Jude's not been able to fill yet this season. And I think that's been really big for Loughborough, that she's had the confidence to do that and the support to do that.
Certainly is. Two teams going through their warm-ups, or they were. They're going to be sent to the benches now for the introductions to the fans here in East London Sports Dock. And that's another thing about the league, trying to build the profile of wheelchair basketball in this country and trying to build up the fan base as they go along. And it's all about developing not only the players but developing the sport in this country as well.
Absolutely, it's fantastic to get this kind of coverage for the sport, and that's the most exciting thing about the league, I think.
So if you are in the East London area or the Loughborough area or Cardiff or Worcester, make sure you do get down and support your local team. You can find out more on the British Wheelchair Basketball website. You can also take up the game. You said you're coming here tomorrow to do some coaching to me beforehand. It's also, we talk about this top level, it's about driving participation as well and getting more young women and girls into the sport of wheelchair basketball, which is a fantastic game to play.
It is a fantastic game to play. It's fast, it's high action, and it all comes from the grassroots. Without the grassroots, you don't have these elite players. So I coach First Division, we've got Premier Division and Second Division matches here tomorrow, and yeah, it's just a great sport, and we just want to get it out there to the masses.
I always think it's one of the most fascinating things is almost every time I interview one of the players, they say, oh, I watched it in 2012 or I watched it in 2016 or I watched it. And that was the thing that got them to go down to their local gym and join their local team, and then, you know, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years later, they're playing for GB, and it's reciprocating. They watched you play, and now young people are watching them play, and that's the thing that drives it all on.
As a player, that was probably one of my favourite things, is when somebody said to me, "Oh, I watched you compete in London, and you inspired me to take up the game," and that was part of why I did what I did, and that was such a great feeling for me. And I think these players are doing exactly the same now for the next generation.
Well, the home team now coming out, being introduced to the crowd, and it's been a good atmosphere as well at the games that we've covered so far, and it sounds like it's going to be another good one today, and they'll be hoping that East London can put on a good show here. And they weren't too far away when these two teams met first time around. It was an 11-point win in the end for Loughborough, but long stretches of that game it was in single figures. It just kind of fell away from them a little bit in the fourth quarter. I
think that's where Loughborough's depth comes in. It means that when it gets close, they can take it to the fourth quarter, and they can get that win over the length of the match rather than having to get it straight away.
A moment to reflect and show solidarity with the people of Ukraine ahead of the start of tonight's game. And the two teams will acknowledge each other before going back to their lineup, to their warm-up lines, and get themselves ready for the start of the game, which is now only a couple of minutes away. Important, I think, in this when you're going up against a team with the quality of Loughborough, important, I think, for East London to get off to a good start, not let things get too far away from them, because they're a tough team to chase down, this Loughborough side.
They definitely need to start well. They need to get some really good opportunities for Amy Conroy and Beth Wheeler, and get some points on the board early. Like you say, they are a difficult team to try and chase, so they just need to keep themselves in the game, and anything can happen when we get to that fourth quarter.
Well, Amy Conroy had 31 points in the first meeting between these teams. 31 of her team's 50 points off 25 shots as well. Incredibly efficient scoring by her. Beth Wheeler chipped in with 13, and I suppose the question that you would say is, can they get somebody else, can they get a third scorer just to chip in to get them from the 50 they had in the first meeting into the mid-60s? That'll give them a better shot at winning.
Definitely, I think that they need someone else to take a little bit more of the pressure off of Amy's shoulders, but Amy is a scorer. It's what she does, so it's going to be hard to find that extra person. I think that there are many players that if they get the opportunities, they'll score, but I can't see who that person is that's going to bridge that gap right now.
And I guess the other thing is, if you play well defensively, you might get some cheap points in transition, some easy fast break points, and that helps keep the scoreboard ticking over as well. So if they can somehow find a way of forcing Loughborough into turnovers or bad shots and get out on the break, it'll also help them at the other end of the floor.
Yeah, and we've seen Loughborough look flustered at times. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, so they're, like you say, putting the pressure on them defensively, making good switches. I don't know what kind of defense they're going to play today, but they definitely can put that pressure on and get those easy points from just solid defense.
So we're almost ready to get things going here at the Sports Dock at UEL. Two coaches having their last few words with the team, reminding them of probably defensive strategy, what they're trying to do, where they're trying to prevent the ball from getting to as much as anything else.
Yeah, the team's due to be out on the floor any second now.
Three teams on the floor, of course, are three officials getting themselves ready to go as well. Referee Francis Premerick, supported by our two smiles all round. They're happy and ready to go. And out come the two sides. We're ready to go here at the Sports Dock, and it'll be Robinson and Conroy to fight it out for the first possession of the game. I say we're ready to go. We're just waiting for a thumbs up from the table as well. And we've got that now, and we can begin the contest. Conroy gets the opening tip, and it's a Phoenix ball. We'll be looking for some options. Here is Wheeler. Fires up the first shot, just rims out. Conroy gets the offensive rebound and the first score on the board.
Oh, some sloppy rebounding there from Loughborough. I'd expect them to get that rebound, but great job by Amy Conroy.
Here comes Williams forward to Love. Love in the corner, mid-range shot. Rattles in for the first points of the game for Robin Love. Conroy bringing it forward, round the screen. Travelling violation there on Amy Conroy, just a little extra push of the wheels. If you're new to the game, you're only allowed 2 pushes without dribbling the ball. Warren in the corner, back to Love. Nice screen to set up an open shot for Love. It's a good challenge in the end from McAfee.
Yeah, Robin Love didn't look 100% convinced that she wanted to take that shot.
Nice pass into the paint, but off the mark. Williams looking to get out on the break. Long pass down to Robinson, who had great position with the first down court for the easy score.
Yeah, and for all her hard work, she's going to get picked out now.
She certainly is. She's not going to get back on defense as Brown is making it a 4-on-4 game at the minute. Can't take advantage of it though, even with the miss. Williams at the free throw line, over to Love. Love and Williams working together. Shot clock down to 4. Don't think that hit the iron. It doesn't matter as it came off the chair of Laurie Williams and out of bounds.
Both teams looking a little bit tentative to start with. The shots aren't quite dropping right now.
Here come the Phoenix. Trying to get it to Conroy. That pass not high enough. Warren got a hand on it. And Loughborough with Robinson out in front if they can find her down court. They've actually done a good job of stopping the ball at mid-court there, East London. Robinson still in a good position. Foul is called. And Lucy Robinson will go to the line for 2 free throws. Again, she got down court early. Robinson got in a good position. Obviously had to come in and out of the lane, but kept her advantage there. She does have a size advantage as well over Brown.
Yeah, Phoenix are going to have to switch on to her getting down the floor so fast if they want to stay in this game.
Love grabs the offensive rebound, gives Robinson another go. That's back iron as well, but that will deflect out of bounds for a Loughborough possession. There's Coach Hanson Morris watching on. Love, a lot of time and space to line that one up. Tries to bank it in, but off the mark.
Unusual for her. She normally prefers to go straight in.
Trying to go a retro style with the old bank shot. Here's Conroy. That's a tough one. Got caught and it drops. What a shot for Amy Conroy. She will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Well, that's what you call a crowd pleaser, isn't it?
Certainly was. Didn't look an easy shot at first. You can see Horn just trying to get in there, make life difficult. And Conroy converts the three-point play. Here's Love right down the middle. Eventually they managed to stop her. Now she's kind of trapped, gets it out to Williams. That was the right idea. The pass just a little bit behind Horan and out of bounds. Full court pressure here from Loughborough. Get it over the halfway line in time, the Phoenix. Conroy back to the free throw line and 2 points for McHuffey.
Fantastic start here by Phoenix. I think Loughborough needs to take more advantage of the shots they're getting right now.
And a 7-4 lead and a chance to add to that as Wheeler pulls in the defensive rebound. Loughborough are great at preventing transition. But Conroy's got good position. Robinson trying to put her off, but got there a little late. And Amy Conroy isn't going to miss from that sort of range.
Now this is a position Loughborough haven't found themselves in this season, so it's going to be interesting to see how they respond.
Oh, not sure who that pass was to. It was right over the head of everybody and out of bounds for a Phoenix possession. And an uncharacteristic mistake there, and Coach George Bates wants to talk things over here. 4.5 minutes into the opening quarter, and his team haven't quite found their rhythm at the offensive end. A couple of turnovers, shooting just 2 of 7 from the floor, not getting the points on the board that we have come to expect from them. But Coach Michael Hanson-Morris will be delighted with how the Phoenix have started, though.
They've had a fantastic start to this match. They've just taken every opportunity almost that they've had. They've had really good opportunities as well. I think Loughborough have been caught napping a few times, and it's been a great game so far.
Certainly has. I think from a Loughborough point of view, they've had some shots that they would quite happily take. They just haven't gone in at this stage. It's if you can't get the shots that you want that you start to worry about. If you're getting the looks you want but they're not going in, you feel, well, eventually they will start dropping for us.
Yeah, if I was coaching the Loughborough team right now, I'd be saying to them, you're getting the shots, be patient, shoot with confidence.
Well, I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you sat here with me. Nice idea. The pass was just a little too far in front of Conroy. Loughborough doing a good job of not allowing Conroy out and back defensively. Look at the speed of Williams, but a little hand in there to deflect that away, and it came off Williams last, so another turnover for Loughborough. That was an awkward spot to catch the ball right on the halfway line, but managed to stop the chair in time. Conroy on the opposite block. This time it doesn't go. Forward to Williams. Love puts the brakes on quickly. Love, lovely pass, and Williams is there for two. That's great work between those pair.
Fantastic two-man game. That's a real joy to watch.
It ends up with an easy score, but it's the work that goes in beforehand to make it an easy score. Conroy. Shot from Wheeler, drops in for two.
And that's what she's done all season so far. She's just there to take those shots when Amy's being pressured out the game.
Love, nice passing. Look at the great position. Did her work early there, Lucy Robinson.
That's better from her. Those are the shots she should be hitting.
3-point game here. 6 minutes in favour of the Phoenix. 3-point shot is up, and wasn't too far away off the back iron for Wheeler. Conroy trying to find a gap, double team, has it knocked away. Love throws it in front. Warren pushing fast to get there. Back to Williams. Williams drops it off. Shot off the mark, but Williams just couldn't quite keep that in play. Good effort.
She was everywhere then, wasn't she?
She was. All over the court, Laurie Williams. Ooh. Foul called.
Yeah, you should never show anyone your foot plates. That's what I teach people.
Only the second foul of the game on Loughborough, but both on Horan. So she's having to come out of the game. Siobhan Fitzpatrick in for the first time. Not a bad substitution to bring in at this stage of the game. Nice work from Wheeler. Foul is called.
Fitzpatrick was my player of the match, I believe. The match that Worcester Wolves versus Loughborough.
She had a great game. Ruby under pressure, trying to get it to Conroy. And in off the glass.
She did well to get that pass. It was a little bit later than Amy would have liked, but luckily she was able to get the shot away.
Williams. A little short on that one again. Another good look for a player of the quality of Williams. Little pick and roll, nice ball movement, and they get the points they deserved at the end of it.
Fantastic finish there by Beth Wheeler. Off balance, and as a low point player that can be difficult to finish those shots.
Love over to Fitzpatrick. Williams with another offensive rebound. Love at the elbow is fouled, and Robin Love will go to the free throw line. Brown has also picked up 2 fouls, so she will come out of the game. Good work there from Wheeler to make sure that free throw didn't go all the way back to the shooter. Conroy. Levy back to Conroy. Has just got there. Doesn't go, but the rebound falls rather fortuitously to Conroy. Doesn't score. Still they have it to Phoenix. And Amy Conroy makes no mistake second time round. Here's Love, open for the mid-range, shows she can make that bank shot.
From the other side though, maybe she prefers this side.
That'll be it. Inside the final 40 seconds here of the opening quarter. It's been a good quarter for the Phoenix so far. Stolen away by Love though. Levy with the foul.
Loughborough working very hard to try and disrupt Phoenix at the moment, and what's happening is Phoenix are getting easy shots off of it, but that time they managed to get the steal, which I think is more what they're trying to achieve at the moment.
Well, there's about an 8.5 second differential between the shot and the game clock here. And they go quickly, late whistle, but foul is called, I think on Conroy. It'll send Robinson to the foul line. Well, she went 0 for 2 on her first trip, but makes the first one here. Back iron, and again, good work from Wheeler to secure the loose ball. Shot clock is off. If the Phoenix can get it over mid-court, they can get the final shot here of the first quarter. Ooh, it's just a little bit far in front of McAfee and out of bounds.
Loughborough able to force a few mistakes now. I think that's the idea behind their press, and it hasn't been working up until now.
Got to be quick here, last few seconds. Love has it, trying to line up the long two. Ooh, in and out. And that will do it for the first quarter here at the East London Sports Dock, and the home fans have enjoyed what they've seen here through the opening 10 minutes. 17 points on the board for the Phoenix, and they lead Loughborough by 5.
Not what I would probably expect at this point in the match, but it's been a really great game from Phoenix so far. They've had a better shooting percentage, and I think that's all it boils down to. They've both been working hard, they've both been getting good shots, but Phoenix shots have been dropping.
But yeah, it's 47% to 38% in terms of the field goal shooting, and they've also had more shot attempts. Part of that is because Loughborough have got to the free throw line a little bit more, but also part of that, 5 offensive rebounds. They've been able to get some second chance opportunities, and if you do miss the shot, if you can get yourself another offense, even if you don't score, it can wear the team down, having to play 30-40 seconds in defense instead of 20.
Yeah, I think that both teams, and they're not particularly tall. They have one tall player perhaps each. So I wouldn't be expecting Phoenix to get as many offensive rebounds as they have, to be honest with you. I think 4 of those offensive rebounds are in the same phase of play.
Well, there's a few times where Amy Conroy just seemed to be in the right space at the right time, and she's got 3 of those 5 offensive rebounds, and also leads all scorers with 11. So she's only 1 point behind the Lightning on her own, but at 11 points off 8 shots is incredible efficiency.
It's what she does, and I think the press is actually helping her game a little bit. They need to try and figure out how to stop her scoring.
Well, good luck with that. She's what I would call a professional scorer. It doesn't really matter what you throw at her. She always finds a way of getting the ball in the basket. Back underway here in the second quarter. Love for the Lightning off the mark. Conroy. Shot from the elbow is short from Roberts and out of bounds.
That was much better defense though from Loughborough. They managed to shut Conroy down and force someone else to shoot, and that's really what they need to be doing.
Yeah, I think the best way of guarding Conroy is before she gets the ball. It's much more difficult when she has the ball in her hands, as Robinson drops in another 2 for the Lightning. Foul called off the ball. I think it's going to be on Williams.
Interesting to see that Loughborough have brought it back to the key for defence rather than pressing. So maybe they heard me saying that the press was helping Conroy's game.
Well, it certainly slowed them down a little bit, which seems sort of counterintuitive, but it's not been easy here in the first minute or so. Although a good shot from the top of the key for 2 for McCaffrey. Stolen away. Nice pass out in front. Time to set herself there. Well, she's given Robinson a little time to recover. Still gets the 2 though.
And you were saying we need to find that player to bridge the gap. And right now, that's exactly what she's doing.
And there's a good screen at midcourt by Fitzpatrick to free up Love, and what it's enabled her to do is get the offensive rebound.
Difficult with Amy Conroy behind you though to get that shot away where you want it.
You think you've got the inside position, and then suddenly a big hand comes over the top there, the lights go out a bit. Timeout called here by Michael Hanson-Morris. Just want to talk things over, but I think a good response from his team in the last minute or so. First minute or two you thought, oh, maybe Loughborough have made a bit of a tweak here, and it's sort of discombobulated them a bit, but they've responded well.
I think they've stopped Amy Conroy from taking shots, but now we've got Alice McAfee coming and shooting and scoring, and maybe she's that player to bridge the gap, like we were saying earlier, to that 11-point difference from the last match. Can she bring those points to this match?
Well, she's got 6 points in this game, only had 4 in the entire of the first meeting between these two teams. And again, shooting at 50% from the floor. They're shooting at 50% overall as a team, having made 10 of their 20 field goal attempts. And well, you put yourself in it, if you can sustain that. I know we're only 12 minutes into the game, but you shoot 50% over the course of 40 minutes, you're going to have a really good chance of winning the ball game.
Yeah, it's a high shooting percentage for wheelchair basketball, definitely.
3-point shot is off the mark from Wheeler. I think it hit the string, did it?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
Baskets are the stanchions that come out of the roof, so there's a little string that pulls them back up, and that is out of play if the ball touches it. Here's Fitzpatrick in the lane, avoiding the defenders but missing the shot. Here's Conroy. It's a tough pass cross court from Wheeler.
Yeah, part of Eve's disability affects her hands, so it's going to be a difficult one for her to catch.
Again, good work early on, and Robinson reaps the rewards. That's an and one. So much about this game is about getting the advantage in terms of position on the court, and if you can do that before the defender can recover, it's almost impossible to get you out of the way. And Robinson, from that sort of range, is able to turn it into 3 points.
And that's what Loughborough need to do. They just need to take advantage of the easier shots that they're getting.
Nice pass. It's a great assist and a good finish as well. Just a stoppage in the game. I think it might be a clock issue.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He definitely pointed at the clock.
Well, thumbs up now, so we can get back underway. East London in the half-court defense, so no challenge on Williams as she brings the ball forward. Really packing the lane, trying to prevent the easy shot, but then losing White completely.
As a coach, that's the shot that I want to happen, because she's a low pointer, a difficult pass across the court, so they're playing the percentages there.
Well, it worked for them because they got the defensive rebound. Little pick and roll action. Conroy with the assist, Levy with her first points of the game. Good chair control by Love in the midcourt. Dishes it off to Robinson. She had multiple options there, and Robinson was certainly the best of them.
She could have picked any one of 3 players there to pass the ball to, but that was definitely, like you say, the best option.
Well, Robinson has only missed 1 shot. Foul is called on the shot, and that will be another trip to the free throw line.
For 3 shots.
Conroy.
Was it a 3?
It was a 3, yeah, I think it was a 3. It is the signal of 3 by the officials, so Conroy with a chance to add to her already impressive total here. Well, it's early in the game, but we're on triple-double watch for Amy Conroy. She's already well into double figures scoring, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Love, Ram, that's a lovely screen and roll to the basket. Oh, everything but the finish there for Lucy Robinson.
I was willing that one in.
Oh, she hasn't missed too much today, but didn't quite get a friendly bounce. Probably a little hard off the glass, maybe. Conroy surveying her options. Nice extra pass, but not enough on that from Wheeler. They still get points out of it. They've done well on the second chance points. That's 6 second chance points for the Phoenix in this game.
That ball movement was fantastic. I think almost every player on the team, on the court, touched that offensively. And that shot from Conroy, I don't know how she does it.
Oh, she's up to 16. Ooh, a little bit too much on that pass to find Robinson. Conroy has spent most of the game trying to keep pace with Loughborough. 16 she has, 19 the Lightning have.
I think that just shows how important she is to this team, and you can see that they're all working to get her a shot.
It seems like an easy tactic for Coach George Bates. You just don't let Amy Conroy score and we'll be okay, but it's not quite that simple.
It's easier said than done, isn't it? When you've got 4 people working for one person, how do you stop that?
And the other thing about it, as I say, is 16 points, she's got 5 assists, so basically everything has gone through her. When she's not scoring, she's finding teammates in good spots.
I think you're right though, when you said earlier it's actually better to try and stop her before she gets the ball, because as soon as she gets the ball, she's getting all the magic off of it, the picks, the rolls, the drives to basket. She can do it all, and as a forward that's so valuable.
Well, the undefeated Loughborough Lightning find themselves in an 11-point hole here at the UEL Sports Dock. And this is the main reason why. Amy Conroy passing it inside. McAfee is able to hang on. She did well just to keep possession of the ball there. Never mind score at the end of it.
She's had a great game so far.
8 points for her. Little room for Fitzpatrick. Off the mark, ball bobbling about. I think Love will get there first. She'll wait till it goes in the backcourt to make sure there's no danger of a backcourt violation by going over the line with the ball. Nice pass from Fitzpatrick to a cutting Williams in off for the layup.
I think if anyone had tried to stop Laurie Williams at that point, it would have been an unsportsmanlike foul, so best that they didn't. Great basket by her.
Conroy getting into the paint. Lovely dish. Oh, offensive foul. That might be the best way of guarding. Now get her into foul trouble. That's the second personal foul for Amy Conroy. I very much doubt Coach Michael will be considering taking her out. He'll be thinking she's got the experience to get to halftime on those 2 fouls.
Yeah, I always thought that if you've got a foul a quarter, and if you don't use it,
There
it's a
you
waste.
go. Yeah, exactly. I think that says something about you, Lou. Make sure you get value out those fouls as well. None of these ticky-tack ones.
Oh no. Make them worthwhile.
Indeed. Williams from the free throw line knocks down the shot. Long pass down court to McAfee. And, oh, another offensive foul.
Yeah, she didn't have control of her chair in that scenario because she had her hands above her head trying to catch the ball.
Yeah, that was the pass was a little far out in front, and she had her eyes on the trying to retrieve the ball and not so much on the defender in front of her who she collided with. Here is Love. Inside to Robinson, and that one just rolls in.
It feels more confident from Loughborough at the moment. Feels like they're chipping away a little bit at the lead that Phoenix have got.
Well, they have got it down to 7. The foul is called on Love, much to her disbelief. And it's one of those things when you've led throughout here. I mean, Loughborough did have a brief 2-point lead, and you've led by as many as 13. If they go into the half with either a very small lead or no lead at all, they'll feel like all that hard work has been undone. And another turnover, and Loughborough just starting to squeeze here, East London. We're almost turned over. Robinson. Oh, there is the third foul on Amy Conroy.
Yeah, she's going to have to watch now. I said one a quarter.
1 1/4, yeah, she
2.
wasn't listening to you. Well, there's a little look of concern from Coach Hanson Morris on the sideline. He just double-checked that is 3. He's now making sure that Conroy knows it's 3.
She'll know.
But he's pacing the sidelines now. He's making sure she knows again. And that is now 7 points in a row for the Loughborough Lightning, having trailed by 13 a few moments ago. Need a score here. Don't get the bounce. That was a bit unlucky from Wheeler. Robinson, pass just ahead of Williams, able to pull that one in. Robinson now setting the screen. That leaves White open underneath and she scores.
Yeah, that was a much easier shot there for White. She was able to catch the ball in her cylinder and get off the shot that she wanted. So good play there by Loughborough Lightning.
And they have now scored 9 points without reply. And that is why Michael Hanson-Morris has called a timeout with 2 minutes to go. And I said it a few minutes ago, but boy, if they get to halftime and the scores are even or they're only up by 1, they'll feel like they've left a little out there because they played so well for 16 minutes, but this Loughborough team is relentless.
I think you're right. They will be disappointed if they let this lead slip away. But it is difficult for Amy to play at full capacity when she's on 3 fouls. They need her to play. They need her on the floor. They can't afford for her to get any more fouls, so she's almost going to have to kind of ease off a little bit so that she doesn't get any more fouls this quarter. He's leaving her on the floor,
yeah,
though.
that's the thing. Is 2 minutes is a long time, and we talk about the fact that she's got half her team's offense in this quarter. In this game, sorry. So, it's a big call to take her out, but it's likewise a big call to leave her in there in a bit of foul trouble. Shot is too long for McAfee. Still they come, Loughborough. Williams at the free throw line. Fitzpatrick with the offensive rebound. Gets it again. Out to Love. Love is open. And she's fouled by Williams. And she's fouled on her way to the basket. And Robin Love will shoot 2.
I think that was on Beth Wheeler, that foul.
Well, 3 minutes ago it was 32-19. Now it's 32-28.
29,
sorry. 29. I was trying to make the point that scored 10 in a row and I didn't do the maths for adding 10. Need a score, desperately need something before half time to get that scoreboard ticking in their favour again. 3 goes at it and it's good, and much to the delight of the home fans here, London finally break that 10-0 streak.
It's almost like Loughborough are gambling and getting Lucy Robinson down the floor, rather than let her there to get the offensive rebounds, the defensive rebounds.
Well, it's worked and it's not worked, hasn't it? Because
yes.
There's been second chance points, but there's also been times where she's been out front of the fast break and able to score.
Definitely, yeah. It's an interesting tactic, and like you say, it's working some of the time and not others.
45 seconds to go here.
I guess the question is it working consistently enough to keep it going?
Well, they still trail by 5. Conroy seeing bodies whenever she touches the ball late in the shot clock here. It's going to have to go up from Levy, and that is a shot clock violation. Coach Hanson Morris running down the sidelines to make a substitution here with 22.5 seconds to go. I assume he wants to get Conroy out just to make sure she doesn't, with 1 defense to go, pick up that 4th foul, and that is the change he's making.
You can see how tentatively she was playing offense and defense then, so almost better to have her off the floor just for the last 22 seconds of this half.
Love brings it forward. Back to Williams. Last 10 seconds here of the first half. Love squares up. Shot rims out. 5 seconds left. Can East London get down court in time? I don't think they will. Well, it was a good finish by the Loughborough Lightning, but it is still the East London Phoenix who lead here at the University of East London. A 5-point advantage. Oh, was there a foul there? Yes, there was. There was a foul called in all of that on the buzzer. I think it was Siobhan Fitzpatrick who was called for it, but they're not over the limit, Loughborough, so it doesn't impact the game other than to add a first foul to Fitzpatrick's tally. But we're at the half, 34-29, and well, if you'd said before the game to Michael, you'll have a 5-point lead at half-time, I think he'd be very happy with that.
He would have definitely taken that as an option. His players have had a great start to the match. We really just need them to come out at the beginning of the second half and start like they did the first half, with that aggression, that energy, that the scoring basically was the difference, wasn't it? They scored their baskets and Loughborough didn't.
Well, they just had a little wobble just before half-time where they couldn't get the ball in the basket, but as you say, the first 16 and a half minutes of the game, they were scoring freely, they were finding options. Obviously Conroy, the main one, but a great contribution from McAfee as well to add in 10 points in the first half. But it's all well and good to do it for 20 minutes. That doesn't win you a game. You've got to do it for 40 minutes. Yeah,
and I think now Conroy is in foul trouble. You can see they're a little bit more exposed. They don't have any replacement for her to come in and do the job that she's been doing. So it's going to be a difficult second half for them, unless she can get through the third quarter without a foul. It's going to be at the back of her mind the entire time.
And Lucy Robinson really doing the damage in that first half for the Loughborough Lightning with 15 points, just 8 shots for those 15 points, 6 of 8 shooting. Incredible effort and the way she was getting to her spots and scoring freely was hugely impressive. Everything really going through the hands of Laurie Williams for the Loughborough Lightning, as it so often does. 6 points and 6 assists for her. And before the game, I was able to catch up with Laurie and have a chat about life in the Women's Premier League.
Well, Laurie, a good start to the season for you and the team. How do you think you've gelled as a unit?
Yeah, I think we've done a great job, to be honest, of coming together. Obviously, when the programme was put together at Loughborough, it was their ambition to get us in, get us training together as much as possible. So we're very fortunate we had to train together since October, really, 3 times a week. And it's just helped with team cohesion so much. And I think the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, and you've had some changes with the lineups, with injuries and illness and whatever, but every week you seem to be able to bring it on court.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you hit the nail on the head. We've not had the best run of fortune, I don't think. We've had some injuries and a few girls out with COVID, and we've just had a lot to deal with. But we've done a fantastic job of overcoming that, and you know, we pull the results out, and I think it's just testament to the work that we've put into obviously the coach.
And from a personal level, you've obviously played at the highest level. How important is it that this Women's Premier League has started this season for wheelchair basketball in this country?
Yeah, it's really important. To be honest, it wasn't something I thought I would have seen in my career, but here it is, and it's so exciting. And I think the development of women's wheelchair basketball and women's sport in general has gone on such an impressive trajectory, and it's something that I really hope to see continue to grow. You know, I hope the league expands and more teams become involved, and you hear more people talking about women's wheelchair basketball, and it'll just put it on a really good path for the future, I think.
Yeah, when you look at the plans going forward, that is the idea in year 2, 3, 4, 5 and expanding out. So to have that sort of strategic, longer term view must be great for the players.
Yeah, it's fantastic for the players, you know, to get to play full-time women's wheelchair basketball, it's just a joy. You know, usually the league is mixed gender, so it's men and women playing together, and it's just different for women to have to compete alongside men. You know, it's tough. That's the reality of it. So for young girls especially, to be able to compete with other young girls and women, it just makes a world of difference in terms of your physical development, but also, you know, your confidence.
And I suppose that's the other thing, is there's quite a lot of young players who are coming up, going to be challenging you at the top level and getting themselves a chance to test against some of the best players in the country.
Yeah, you know, and that's what we want. You know, we want competition, we want the women's game to grow and grow and grow, and for young girls to have this opportunity now at such a young age, and for it to be attainable and achievable, I think it's so important. And you know, we've got a few youngsters on our team and they're just really enjoying it. You know, they're coming out of themselves, they're stepping out of the comfort zone, and it's great to see.
And unbeaten in the season so far, can you keep that going?
Yeah, that's the aim. You know, we've got a great record so far, and we've done really well on the road, and obviously we've got another away game today, and East London Phoenix is sat just below us in the table, so we know it's going to be a tough game, but we hope to get another win.
Good luck. Thank
Cheers.
you. Well, Karen, first season in East London. First of all, what's been your impressions of the team that you've been playing with, your teammates and your coaching staff?
My teammates have been amazing so far. We just met this year, and it feels like we've known each other for years. The chemistry on and off the court has been amazing, which keeps me coming back every time. And playing at a competitive level at UEL in this awesome facility just is even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to play against some really top quality players up and down the league as well.
Yeah. What did you
And
say?
looking at the league in general, what do you make of this development to have this Women's Premier League and the opportunity it gives for women wheelchair basketball players?
I think it's really huge, especially because wheelchair basketball is not well known to begin with, so having this platform to show the world what we can do is amazing, and to have women also doing it is even better, to show that we are just as strong and just as competitive and play just as hard as anyone else out there. It just gives us the opportunity to grow our sport, and to show even the younger kids and younger girls that are aspiring to be athletes that there is more, and you can make big things and have high aspirations playing with this sport.
And of course, what it also gives the opportunity is for the younger developing players in women's wheelchair basketball, to go up against Paralympians, play with Paralympians, and see where they have to develop as players as well.
Absolutely. We have two ladies on our team who's 16 and 17, and they are first amazing athletes, but I think it's just such a great opportunity to have them playing against them, and so they can grow and aspire to be at a Paralympic level, and it makes their game a lot better as well.
And some decent results so far. How do you gauge where the team is in the development?
How do I gauge them?
Yes, your team.
I think we're doing really well so far. I think the chemistry we have keep us playing and keep us playing together as a team, especially since we are a new team. We're 3-4 right now, and I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. Today's a really big game, and we just have to keep playing in practice what we have been, and I think we can go really far.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, they both had some interesting things to say, I thought, at halftime. And it is, I think, one of the benefits of the league and the structure as it is now. And obviously they want to grow and develop it. But the fact that you have got young and up-and-coming players going up against multiple Paralympians week in, week out, consistently, working out consistently as a group, it can only be good for the development of the game in this country, on the court as well as off the court.
I think so, and I think you can even see that in players like McAfee, who has developed throughout this season so far. As you can see, she's had a more productive game this time, and that's probably due to the fact that she is getting that experience. She's training with these people who, I mean, she's got to go up against Amy Conroy in training.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
That's no easy task, and if she can score over Amy Conroy, she can score over most people. So, yeah, like you say, having these experienced, incredibly talented players playing with the new players is only going to develop the game.
Well, noticeable that at halftime, Loughborough had a bit of a conversation, not too in-depth, not too long, then went straight back out, get some shots up, looked pretty relaxed out there. East London into the locker room, spent a long time in there, and then only now just coming back out to warm-ups. So I was intrigued by the strategy in that. It's almost like Coach George Bates is saying, oh, we're all right, don't worry about it, just go out and do your thing.
It definitely sends a message. I think it's interesting because, I mean, we know that Loughborough have struggled to score. So what they need to take out this half-time is just putting the ball in the basket. And that's probably what he's told his players. Whereas the Phoenix are in a position that they didn't expect to be in, perhaps. And I think that is going to be what they've spoken about, how to approach this second half and how to go out with that energy that they started the match with.
Well, Loughborough sort of on pace to where they normally get to. They've been scoring in the sort of high 50s, low 60s so far during this campaign. East London perhaps a little higher than average at 34 points in that first half, but there's a sort of calmness to Loughborough. I think they were in a not too dissimilar position. They didn't get as far behind as they did in the first half here against Cardiff, where you just felt like they were we're okay, this is a 40-minute game. You know, the scoreboard doesn't really matter now, it only matters at the end. We'll just keep doing our thing and eventually we'll get on top in this game. And we saw a little bit of that in the last few minutes of the first half, where they got that 10 points in a row in 3 minutes, and that's the sort of thing they can do. And if they come out 10-0 in the first 3 minutes and they're up 5, and East London will be going, what happened?
Yeah, that's the experienced players within the team. They know what they're capable of. They will know what's going wrong, and they just need time to fix it. And they have time, If it was the fourth quarter, it would be a different conversation, but they've still got a half of basketball to play, so they've got time to fix the mistakes from the first half. Phoenix are in a difficult position. They've got their best player in foul trouble at the moment, and so that is something that Loughborough will try and take advantage of as well.
Well, I think important few minutes in the stage of the game here. First 3-4 minutes of this second half. If you remember back to the beginning of the game, East London jumped out to an 11-6 lead. They go 11-6 here at the start of the second half, and they've got a double figure lead with 15 minutes to play. That's a great spot to be in.
It is. Absolutely. They need to come out absolutely firing in this second half, and almost forget that Amy Conroy is in foul trouble, and just play the game. Loughborough will 100% be ready for the second half, and so Phoenix need to be ready for it, prepared. They've obviously had quite a long chat about it, so be interested to see how they come out in the second half.
The other thing I always find interesting in this is coaches spend 10 minutes in the locker room talking to you, and then a minute and a half before the game reminding you everything that you've forgotten in the 3 minutes that they weren't talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, what else have they got to say? As a coach, I prefer to keep it brief and then let people do what they want to do with their half time, because everyone has a different approach to half time, and then bring them in with a minute to go so that people aren't kind of overloaded with information. But that's just how I like to do it.
So I'm interested in this. So as you transition from player into coach, how much of it did you take from the various coaches you had through your career, or how much of it was going, gosh, I remember those coaches, I don't want to be like that?
I think you definitely will take things from every coach, and whether that's I like what they did or I didn't like what they did. I think you take.
I'm not going to ask you to name names. You're all right.
But I mean that is part of learning as a coach and developing your skills, is kind of learning from other people, whether it's good or bad.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Michael before the game. I've known Michael for a few years, and he was at Leicester Riders, who are the BWL champions, top of the league, and he worked with that coaching staff, and he was talking about taking some stuff from what he learned from Rob Paternostro, who's a multiple coach of the year in the men's running game. And as I say, even the coaches take little bits from different people that they've worked with over the years. Here we go then, we're underway in the second half. It's Loughborough with, well, I was about to say possession of the ball, but immediately they lose it out of bounds.
Not the start they would have wanted, but we're only 9 seconds into this half, so we won't judge them just yet.
We certainly won't, but that will be a pleasing start for the Phoenix. Here's Conroy looking for some options. Brown back into Conroy, he'd cut to the basket and gets the second half off to the similar start to what she did at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, Loughborough caught napping there, weren't they?
Yeah, she just carried on her momentum after making the pass through the lane, and it's like they thought, well, the ball's out of our hands now, we don't have to worry about her. Here's Love. Love knocks down the shot. Had a pretty quiet but effective first half, Robin Love. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, couple of steals.
Not as much as we'd expect from her, though.
No, not quite as dominant as she was last week in Cardiff, but still stuffing the stat sheet.
I mean, it's not a bad day when you're considered to be having a quiet game and you've still got 8 points on the board.
And 20 minutes to play, 19 minutes to play. Conroy working her way into a good position, hit from behind, and it drops for Amy Conroy, and the perfect start for the Phoenix here to the second half, with the first 4 points on the board for Amy Conroy and a chance to make that 5.
I was thinking she was lucky to get away with a 3-second call there, but she must not have been quite inside the key.
Ooh, that's off Robinson, I think. I'm not seeing a signal, but it is a Phoenix ball. So you refereeing now as well, that you're spotting these 3-second violations?
Absolutely. Every player's a referee. Or at least we like to think we are.
Yeah. Nice pass. Oh, but broken up by Wheeler, just getting a hand on that. Here's Conroy. Back to Levy. Ooh, Love gets another hand in it. Third steal of the game for Robin Love. I don't think they'll catch her in transition. And an easy score. 10 points now for Robin Love. Ball bounces kindly for Conroy. Off the mark from 12 feet. Another offensive rebound. They've really crashed the offensive glass. They're into double figures, and they also managed to get 10 points off those offensive rebounds as well.
Definitely something that Loughborough need to tighten up on. They shouldn't be letting them get so many offensive rebounds, for sure.
Here's Fitzpatrick. And the foul is called on Brown. Brown, that was her 4th foul, by the way, so she's had to leave the game. Ooh, Robinson couldn't hang on to that. Numbers here, 2 on 0, and Conroy's not going to miss that.
Definitely not. She doesn't get them that easy that often, so she's going to make the most of those.
Well, good work from Williams to try and keep that alive after she missed the shot. Well, I said if Phoenix could start the second half the way they started the first, they'd have a double-figure lead, and they're trying to get to that double-figure lead here on this one. It doesn't go, though, for Roberts. Williams, an easy one really off the glass. Defense never stopped the ball.
Much easier than the shot before that she attempted. It was on her dominant side as well, being a lefty.
That one rims out. White is able to come up with the possession. Williams off to Love, and after a slow start to the third quarter, Loughborough reeling East London back in once again. Conroy under pressure, gets it to Roberts, trying to throw it in off the glass. Look at the speed of Love down court. And she's able to score in transition. The gap is down to 3. Well, just when it looked like they were going to have a double-figure lead, it's almost all evaporated for East London.
Yeah, they're just not getting the people they want shooting right now.
Well, here's somebody they want to shoot, but Conroy's off the mark. Foul is called, so there'll be 2 free throws in there. Roberts is going to check out of the game as Branthwaite comes in.
Just a youngster, isn't she? 16 years old.
I know, it's frightening, isn't it, really?
But a fantastic example of
Yep,
the
exactly.
youth
Yeah.
learning from these fantastic experienced players.
Conroy can't quite get the rebound. It's only frightening if you're old, by the way, like me. How much younger these players are getting. I don't think it's them getting younger, I think it's me getting older. Let's get back to the action. Williams has it to Robinson. There's your 3-second violation. You had that one called, didn't you?
Absolutely. All over that.
Kind of needed that stop there as well, because Robinson was in a good shooting position. Levy with the mid-range. Boy, they've really crashed the offensive glass. Got a little underneath the basket there, McAfee. Came a more difficult shot.
Still no score though. It's been a few minutes now, hasn't it?
Yeah, stuck on 42. There's a foul there, and that will count. Ooh. Little double fist bump from Lucy Robinson, who will now go to the line with a chance to tie it up at 42.
Generous call there, in my opinion.
No, I tend to agree with you. I was trying to come up with something there, but I tend to agree with you. But the basket is given, that's the important thing. And a chance now to tie the game. And they just got stuck on 42, 9 in a row. If this goes in, it's another 10-0 run. There was a 10-0 run in the second quarter. They responded well to the 10-0 run in the second quarter. They just need to do it again now here out of this timeout. Got to get that scoreboard ticking.
They're just not getting the right people taking shots, Phoenix, at the moment. They need to get the ball back in Beth Wheeler's hands or in Amy Conroy's hands and get them taking the shots, because they're the ones that are making them consistently. But Loughborough are doing a good job of preventing that from happening. So, you know, that's the experience showing from the Loughborough team.
Well, Loughborough first to break from the timeout. Last action was that foul that sent Robinson to the free throw line with an opportunity to tie the game. Not on that occasion, so still the Phoenix hold the lead, but only just. Conroy. Foul called on the pass. It's Williams committing it. Pass didn't have enough on it, stolen away, and here goes Love again. Has a look back, sees no defenders, and puts her team in the lead.
It's been a while since they've had that, isn't it?
Yeah, it was the early stages. They had a 2-point lead, trailed by as many as 13. Williams did well there to avoid a backcourt. She right up against the halfway line. Here's Fitzpatrick, and It is all Loughborough Lightning here, as East London have just stopped on 42.
They're looking confident again though, Loughborough Lightning, which we've not seen so far this game.
It's 14 points in a row and a chance to add to it.
It's like Loughborough have just woken up, isn't it?
Yeah, they've just put the stranglehold on. Again, I go back to halftime, it was, they didn't seem any sort of like vague concern from the team and the coaching staff. They just knew at some point things would come their way if they kept doing what they were doing, and boy, have things come their way here in the third.
After a shaky start in the third as well.
Yeah, they were 9 points down in this period. They lead by 5. Finally, scoreboard operator has something to do on the Phoenix side of the ball. Can East London right the ship? They're only down 3, that's the thing. As much as it's gone away from them in the last 3 or 4 minutes, because they had that lead, they're only down 3. Fitzpatrick, and their shooting has been really good here in this third quarter. It's amazing when you get a few, Conroy for 3, you get a few transition points, easy scores, how much easier everything else becomes on the court.
Yeah, basketball is a game of runs, and if you're the one having the run, then that's great. And then you just have to break your opposition's runs when they get on one.
And, well, they can't break Loughborough's at the moment. East London, all the momentum with the Lightning. Conroy trying to do something. Cross to Wheeler, fires up the 3, comes all the way back to her. Back to Conroy, mid-range or string.
Beautiful shot. But another offensive rebound by Phoenix.
In the last few ticks here, they might get one offense back here, East London. They certainly will, but only because they've given up an easy score for Love. Well, they led by 5 coming into this quarter. They trail by 7 as the final few seconds come off. Can Conroy get one last score? I don't think she's going to get the shot away. No, Fitzpatrick made sure she didn't. But what a quarter that is for the Loughborough Lightning. They've won that by 24 points to 12, doubled them up in that period and just turned up the heat, and East London weren't able to deal with it.
They just bought everything, didn't they, in that quarter? They bought defense and offense, and Phoenix just had no answer. 24 points in a quarter is a lot.
Well, they only had 29 at half time, so that shows you how many points they were able to rack up in that period. And again, it seemed to get easier and easier for Loughborough. You think back, Amy Conroy gets those 5 early points. It's 42 to 33, and since that point, it's 20 to 4.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a game of runs, and Loughborough have just grown in confidence in that quarter. We knew that it was going to be a really critical quarter in the match, and I thought Phoenix had come out and had a really good start, and then Loughborough just, like they woke up, and all of a sudden they were like, oh yeah, this is our game, we're going to win it.
Important here for the Phoenix to come out with belief. It's almost like you've got to compartmentalise that quarter and say, all right, that's over and that's done with. This is a game this is a quarter we need to win by 8 points, and don't worry about the run that they've just been on. We've just got to win this quarter by 8 points.
Yeah, and Amy Conroy got through that quarter without a foul, so she can now relax a little bit and play the way she was at the beginning of the match. That's what I'd like to see in this final quarter.
It's certainly what the Phoenix fans would like to see as well. Ten minutes to go in this one. The Lightning, who trail by as many as 13, now back on top, trying to preserve their unbeaten start in the WPL. Love into Robinson again. That is great early work from Lucy Robinson.
Yeah, Amy Conroy still looking tentative defensively. I would have expected her to have been a bit more in Lucy Robinson's face for that shot.
Conroy back up to the top of the key, and Wheeler is able to knock down the shot. Again, Robinson, look at the position. She's such an efficient scorer. You can't let her get to that spot in the court.
No, it's looking far too easy for her, you're right.
Nice work. And Wheeler is on the end of the pass from Conroy. Oh, it's Love this time who's got good position. They can't keep them out of the paint at the minute.
It's looking like it's easy both ends. Defense is not really what people are wanting to do right now, just offense.
It's a modern game, isn't it? It's all about scoring. You don't need to worry about defending anybody. Foul called. It is actually 50-59, quite a high scoring game with 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think you're saying that Loughborough average 50-60 points?
Yeah, the high 50s basically, and they're already there. Shot clock getting low. Conroy has to fire up the three. Wasn't quite set. She can knock down that shot, but that one was a little rushed because of the clock. And again, another easy one. It's a nice pass, and it's good work from Love. Little double fist bump from Robin Love. And they've just turned up their screw defensively. And at the other end of the floor, they've been able to score pretty much at will in this second half, Loughborough.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have had some easy shots, and actually they're making them, which was the difference right at the beginning, wasn't it? Phoenix were making theirs, Loughborough weren't, and now they're both making them. I'm not sure what the score is this quarter, but it's pretty tight. But yeah, it's been an interesting start to that fourth quarter.
Well, Loughborough are winning this period by 4, having stretched what was a 7-point lead coming in to the fourth. And it's hard to see beyond a Loughborough win at this stage. And we were saying at half time, you can't beat this Loughborough team in 20 minutes. You've got to do it over 40 minutes, and they probably did it for 22 minutes, East London. But then Loughborough just turned on their power and have pulled out to an 11-point lead. It is 50 points to 61, which was the final score when these two met here earlier in the season. There's still 7.5 minutes to go in this one. Oh, a lucky bounce there to Brown, but she couldn't get her shot away in time.
Yeah, good ball movement, but nobody seemed to want to take that shot, did they?
There's an offensive foul there called before the ball has been inbounded, as they were battling for position. It's Lucy Robinson, the offender.
Out of bounds warning there, I think, is what's happening. So first time you go out of bounds to gain an advantage, it's a warning. Second time, it's a technical foul.
I didn't notice anybody go out of bounds, but that's the other thing about wheelchair basketball. There's so much going on up and down the court that it's not always easy to spot everything at the same time. But that's why I have Louise here to spot for me.
Unfortunately, I didn't see who went out of bounds, but
you could have just made a name up there. You could have got away with that.
It was definitely one of the Phoenix players, though. I can tell you that.
Yes, because it was Michael who got the warning over on the sideline. 3-second violation is the call. I think Coach Bates has scored a timeout there. Even he looked a little surprised by that, but just wondering if it's a couple of turnovers in a row, the offensive foul, then the 3-second violation, and he's like, this game isn't over yet, still 7 minutes to go, let's finish off right.
Doesn't want to give Phoenix the opportunity to get back into their groove, so yeah, it's a good call to call a timeout at this point in time.
Well, just making general points while Coach Hanson Morris is, by the looks of it, drawing up a play.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I'm guessing it involves Amy Conroy.
I would think that's a good shout, that. Teams making their way back out onto court. 7 minutes left here at the Sports Dock. East London Phoenix trying to end this undefeated start by Loughborough Lightning, but work to do if that's going to be the case as they trail by 9. Well, you were right. It went to Conroy for a shot. That's why you're a coach.
Yeah, I'm claiming that one.
There we go. Here come Fitzpatrick.
Another really easy basket there for Loughborough Lightning. Phoenix are going to have to up their defense if they do want a shot of the win here.
Levy with the ball. Shot off the mark. Love with the rebound. Here comes Love to Fitzpatrick. Williams, offensive foul, the call.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick didn't have control of her chair when she made that pass, unfortunately.
Forward come the Phoenix. Levy, didn't know White was behind her, knocked it loose, but they still have possession of the ball, Phoenix. Shot clock getting low, and there's a block in there. It's going to be a shot clock violation. The ball was going out of bounds for a Phoenix possession because of the block, but the horn sounded before the ball had touched the floor out of bounds, so 24-second violation. Williams on to Fitzpatrick. And that's her spot, but I don't know if she got betwixt in between a bank and a straight at the rim. Cross court to Conroy, had a little zip on it, but she's able to pull it in. Oh, that's unlucky, that is. It just rims out for McAfee. Long pass down court to Lucy Robinson, who hasn't missed too much today. Good ball movement. Brown is in the key. Surrounded by white shirts, though.
Really, really difficult shot for her. I'm surprised the ball got past, to be honest.
Williams getting in the lane once more. And off the glass. She's had another impressive performance. Here's Conroy. Wheeler shot over the top of the ring. Didn't hit the ring, but as Love had got the rebound, we can play on despite the shot clock expiring. And a little strong. There's Robinson again. Well, 3:24 to go. And Michael Hansen-Morris has called another timeout, his last of the game, and his team trail by 17. It's one of those that if you've not seen the game and you just see the score on social media or on the British Wheelchair Basketball website, match report, it looked like a comfortable Loughborough win, but actually they were made to work pretty hard for this, and they've just pulled away with it in this second half.
I don't think the score reflects how well Phoenix have played today, and that's a real shame because they were in control of this match for the first half, and Loughborough had no answer, but they should be really proud of their performance today. I mean, it's not over yet, but it's quite a mountain they've now got to climb, and that happens once Amy Conroy got into foul trouble.
Yeah.
It was going to be difficult for them. Obviously she's not now in trouble as such, but she's still playing quite tentatively, because I think in the back of her mind
Kind of took her out of her rhythm, didn't it?
Yeah, and she had a fantastic rhythm up until that point. So yeah, it's a real shame, but we still got three and a bit minutes left of basketball to enjoy.
Well, Coach Bates shuffling the pack here, getting Lowndes and Gilvary into the game for the first time. Three minutes left to play. 15-point lead for Loughborough. Here comes Conroy. Knocked away from her. Good work from Love defensively. She's had, I think, 4 steals in the game today. Warren looking for options. In the end, takes the shot. Love will chase it down. Conroy got a little deflection on that, out of bounds. Couple minutes to go in this ball game. You've got to start thinking about your player of the game, your MVP for today.
Can I have one for each half?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's in the rules. I'll have to check the rule book.
I'll have a think.
Here's Love. Conroy back to Brown. Conroy working the pick and roll with Brown. Throws it down to Wheeler for two. Has it knocked loose? Phoenix come up with it. Minute and a half to play. Wheeler goes round the defender but can't finish. Another offensive rebound. Conroy is there to add to her tally.
Phoenix just taking advantage of a less experienced Loughborough side being on the floor right now.
And closing the gap. Oh, not quite. There's a foul on the rebound.
On Amy Conroy, I think.
Her fourth, obviously. Into the final minute. Come on then, Lou, you've got to give us your MVP here as Oren drives in.
Okay, I think that today it's Lucy Robinson.
Good choice.
She's had she was really crucial for Loughborough Lightning throughout this game and scored a lot of points.
Yeah, she really did a good job. If you look back on the highlights of it, it looked like, well, she just scored a load of easy shots, but all the easy shots, because of the work she did to get the position close into the basket, where she wants the ball, where she can score at a high percentage, and that is why she's been the MVP there.
Can I change my mind? That was a ridiculous shot.
It was a ridiculous shot by Conroy there. No, you can't change your mind.
Okay. She tried it backwards, first of all.
Yeah.
I would have loved for that to go in.
Well, we said earlier she can score in all sorts of ways. And even surrounded, able to somehow find a way into the basket. Well, it was 11 points when these two teams met first time. It's 11 points here. Phoenix might take it into single figures if they can get one last score, which they don't. So it'll be the same winning margin for the Loughborough Lightning. A very different game to the first meeting, but once again Loughborough have found a way to win. A tremendous second half by them. They trailed by as many as 13 in the first half. They've ended up winning by 11, so a 24-point turnaround in the game, and they remain undefeated.
Well, yeah, they made hard work of it this time, though, didn't they? But I think that's more down to how Phoenix came out and approached this game. They just came out with this energy, and their teamwork is fantastic. And it's a shame that the score doesn't quite reflect the game, but it was a really enjoyable game.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's the thing from Coach Hanson Morris's point of view. There will be positives to take away from this game when he gets into the film room and he breaks it down, but there will also be things where he'll be looking for improvement for his team for when they next meet in Loughborough.
I think it was a much better performance by Phoenix, and obviously even though the score doesn't reflect that, I think they definitely should take some positives away from this game, because there was a lot of good things that they did, but at the end of the day Loughborough's experience came through, and you said that they looked so relaxed at half time, and I think they knew that they were capable of taking this win. It was just a case of being patient.
Crowd showing their appreciation for the Loughborough Lightning there, and Lucy Robinson, as we said, just fantastic offensively. Robin Love very efficient, actually, not quite the explosive that we've seen in the past, but actually ended up with a very impressive performance over the course of the game, and that's what they have, just lots of different options and different weapons to throw at you.
Yeah, and just a lot of experience guiding these younger players, and they're training together all the time, and the inexperienced players are just going to develop as the season goes on, and I think we can already see how much they're developing. It's fantastic to see that progression as the season continues.
It certainly is, and well, they will take some stopping this season for sure. The Loughborough Lightning. Lucy Robinson finished with 25 points off 13 shots. That's incredible. 11 of 13 shooting for 25 points.
I mean, that's what you need from your high pointers, and that's exactly what she delivered today. That is a extremely high shooting percentage. Yeah. But you say that earlier it looked like she was just getting easy shots, but she was working to get
exactly,
those easy shots, and it wasn't just given to her on a plate, and I think that's why she was my MVP today.
Robin Love, with an incredible second half, pushed her close. She almost came up with the triple-double, was one assist short in the end. Love, she had 28 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, but certainly the early work done by Robinson really pushed them out. Those two leading the way. 30 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists for Amy Conroy in the end. She was close to a triple-double as well. Some really impressive offensive numbers out on court today in what was a reasonably high scoring game, certainly in the second half for Loughborough, who ended up with 42 points in that second half. Got some good work out of transition, I thought. 12 fast break points helped them open up the lead, and that was key for them, and that is why they've managed to come out with a lead. And I think we can get some reaction here at the end of the game. I think Lucy Robinson is almost ready for us courtside for an interview. So let's get some reaction from the game with Lucy Robinson, who had 25 points off 11 of 13 shooting.
Another win on the road, Lucy. Tell me a little bit about that game.
It was a great game. We came back from losing and brought it back, and really proud of the team.
And next week you've got your home game. How are you going to be preparing for that?
Same as always. Everyone gets a training, big session, and just go smash it really.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Well, an impressive victory for the Loughborough Lightning, and we'll have Coach George Bates in just a moment to give us his thoughts on the victory and remaining undefeated with 5 wins from 5 games so far for the Loughborough Lightning. And I think he is now ready courtside with Bethan. So let's get some reaction from Coach Bates.
Fantastic top of the table clash. Talk to me a little bit about that game.
Yeah, I think it was a great game for the spectator, but as a coach, it was a bit more frustrating on my end. I think we had a really slow start. Didn't shoot great. They out-rebounded us massively in the first half, which they got a load of second chance points. But fortunately, we managed to rectify that at half time and put in a really, really good second half.
And your next game is at home, so how will your preparations be heading into that?
Yeah, so we've got a bit of a break now. I think we've got 3 weeks till our next game, so the girls are actually going to have a week off. We've had a tough block of 4 games back to back. Most of them away from home, so they're going to have a week off, then we'll get in, watch the footage and prepare for the Cardiff game at home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, they will take some stopping the Loughborough Lightning, that's for sure. I think we can have a look at the standings, and they are topping the way, 5-0, massive points difference as well. Somebody's going to have to play really well to beat them this season, aren't they?
Definitely, 71 points difference. That's incredible, especially at this point in the season when we've still got loads of matches to go. It's going to take a really fantastic performance from someone. Phoenix were there for half a match today, so hopefully we can see when they play again something a little bit more. Although it's going to be at Loughborough, so that's going to be tough.
Well, yeah, that is the thing. It's about putting it together for 40 minutes of the game. We've seen teams get close and push it for a bit, but they've got to do it all the way through, and that is going to be the challenge, no doubt about it. But as you say, there's positives from this performance from the Phoenix. You obviously know what you're going to get from Amy Conroy. Nearly a triple-double off 30 points as well, but I thought McAfee did really well for them. Became that third scorer in the game, got 12 points in the end, and that's what they're going to need. But also 11 rebounds as well, 8 offensive rebounds she pulled in. That was a key thing for them in the game, to get those second chance opportunities.
She did a lot early on in the game, and I think that I can see the progression that she's already made this season. I think playing against Amy Conroy every training session is going to only make her a better player. So it's exciting to see that, and I think she had a really good game. Was much quieter in the second half, but perhaps that's due to Loughborough tightening up their defence a little bit.
Yeah, definitely was the case, and again they've put up 60 points in the ball game, so that is showing that they can score pretty well, and I'm sure Coach Hanson Morris will be pleased with that aspect of their game, and maybe just a little bit more defensively to be able to react to. We can get some reaction now from the East London camp. Amy Conroy is with Bethan on the end line.
Amy, not the result you wanted, but plenty of positives to take away from that game. Talk to me a little bit about that one.
It's always frustrating to lose, I hate it, but I'm so proud of our team. We came across, these guys, most of the GB players have been training together a long time, and there's so much that we're learning all the time. So I'm just really proud of us. It's just a shame. We did have a good lead at one point. It's just small things. I think a lot of the time we didn't get back on defence together, and they got quite easy looks, and we were doing quite a few Hail Marys. I did quite a few chuck-ups. So I think it's just small things, but there's so much we can improve on, and mainly I'm just so proud of these girls. They're just young, eager to learn. I'm still bitter though, every single loss. But yeah, they're amazing, so great job to Loughborough.
And kind of heading into your next match, how will your preparations be towards your next games?
I think just trying to train as much as we can. Most of our team have full-time jobs, so we've got people doing like 2-3 hour commute, someone from Scotland who comes down Carlisle, so it's just trying to balance life and training and get a few more sessions in and making the most of those. But yeah, I was going to say I couldn't be happier, but I could be happier. If we won, I'd be happier. But I love our team, and amazing job, Loughborough.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Amy.
Is a smile on her face, and we are going to get some reaction as well now from coach Michael Hanson-Morris to see what he thought of that game. He's just jumping into position with Bethan.
So, Michael, head coach of East London Phoenix, talk to me a little bit about that game.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud. I think we deserve to keep it under 10. I think when we got to 15, we talked about getting back under 10 because I think that's what the players deserved. The first half, I thought, was probably our best basketball this season. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about just that gradual growth throughout the season, trying to get better each week. And then we got a little bit tired. We've missed some training sessions and other things that are outside of our control. A couple of injuries, like Charlotte, before she fell ill in just before the warm-up. So again, a little bit short on the rotation, and we could tell that fatigue kind of played a factor. But credit to Loughborough, a great side. George's done a great job coaching them, and we know where we need to get to, and that's the standard, and that's what we can aspire to do the rest of the season.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, a great game here at the UEL Sports Dock. Great to have you with us again, Louise. Good luck with your coaching tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll see you again as the season goes on. It is another victory for the Loughborough Lightning. They are 5-0 and top of the table. They've beaten the East London Phoenix 71 points to 60 even. But for Louise, I'm Daniel Routledge. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.